Hey guys, Beau Martonik with the East Meets West Hunt podcast. I wanted to give you a little rundown on how I'm using the Spartan Forge app and how I'm configuring my LAMBDA map specifically for the type of hunting that I like to do, which is typically in like hill country or mountainous type country throughout the Appalachian range on the East Coast. When configuring my map, what I like about Spartan Forge is I can have that LAMBDA map set up for me, but if I want to just take a quick look at topography or hybrid mode or aerial view, just with one swipe of the compass, I'm in a completely different map, which is super helpful for those situations. But within the LAMBDA map, so I just click on a little gear icon here with the upside down Y, as I call it, for the LAMBDA logo. As you go in, and you'll have different layers here: UAV, satellite, 1, 2, 3, topo, and LiDAR. So as I go through, I always look at the area to see what shows the best on these maps here. So for example, if I'm looking at this area in West Virginia, you'll see that I really like satellite 2. It shows snow pretty good. Like, you can see some of the trails that are involved there, some of the old logging roads and mining roads, super helpful. But the UAV layer is crystal clear, and I'm able to zoom up to a specific tree. So if you go in, you'll see as I'm coming in here on the phone, it's just incredible how clear everything is. And I can go back and look at different dates from different years that they had. But going back in again, I always like to have the hybrid layer turned on. It helps kind of showing some roads. I turn on the trails layer. I don't use agriculture very much. Again, from the areas I'm hunting is mostly monotonous timber. And then I'll turn on private land, slope angle, and 10-foot contours. When I go in and look at it, now you'll look and be like, holy cow, that's kind of busy. It looks kind of busy right now because of how steep the terrain is. So that contour, I may not need that right off the bat. So what I'll do is I'll turn that back to 20 foot. So it's spread out a little bit more. But I like to look at slope angle shading. This is one of the most used tools that I have, because I can go in and find benches in the steep country or little flat spots on the side of the hills where bucks or deer might travel on quickly. Now you can do that with looking at normal topography, but this just gives you a quick way. It makes it efficient when you're e-scouting to be able to check these things out. I'll go through and I'll mark specific spots. So I always like to scout and e-scout with a time of year in mind. Typically when I'm going out of state or going somewhere, it's a rut trip. So I'm looking at rut type features. I'm looking for terrain funnels and I'm looking for vegetation funnels. And I'll go through and I'll start with the topography side of things and go through and mark some of those benches, some of the topo hubs, maybe some thermal hubs, points or ridges, all of those things, mark those. And within the Spartan Forge app, when you go to drop a waypoint, you can go in and they have a specific layer in here, or a specific option for terrain. It gives you terrain features: basin, funnel, saddle, topo hubs, thermal hubs, etc. So I can go through and I'm able to mark those spots. I like to color them in green. That's just the way I do it, and put those on there. But after I go through and do that, I'll go back to the vegetation side and look for differences in vegetation. So I might be looking for, all right, there's a clear cut here, or you go from some more open country in this type of area, you're looking at more of strips. So you're looking at where that changes, and I'll start marking these things on the map. And as I go, now I'm going to look at the map and see, all right, how do these terrain features that I marked and these vegetation features, how do they line up and where are they starting to overlap? Those are the areas that I want to focus on more than anything. And then lastly, I'll turn on the LiDAR layer and I'll go in and see if there's anything else I'm missing, especially on side hills with old logging roads, maybe some spring seeps that are coming down. Those are the types of things that I'm going to look for on the map, and it's a process. There's not one map, or there's not one aerial view that tells you the whole story. So that's why I like the LAMBDA layer. So I can go in and I can configure it and try different things, see how it looks on the map. And it's a full on process to be able to figure out what looks best for my specific area. And if you want to go check out the Spartan Forge app, just head over to spartanforge.ai and download the app.